Greetings, greetings to all. The purpose of studying the Bible or the Kabbalah, the Quran, or studying particular spiritual systems, Hinduism, Buddhism, Voodoo, the occult, chematology. The purpose of these things are to free us or to lead us back to ourselves. See what I'm saying? But see, what happens is that we become attached to these tools because these are all tools. Even when you talk about meditating and praying and fasting, doing rituals, all these things are nothing more than tools. But what happens is that we become attached to the tools. We allow the tools to define us. See what I'm saying? And the purpose of the tools are to free us. That's the purpose of these tools. They are to free you. They are to free you from the attachments and the illusions that we adopt and that we accumulate while on this earth journey. See what I'm saying? It's like I say, we go from one particular form of religion, we'll leave that, and we'll create some other type of form of religion in the form of so-called spirituality. See what I'm saying? To the degree in which that if someone else are not utilizing the same tools or principles that you utilize, then you judge them. And you say, well, you're not spiritual or you're not conscious, because in order to be conscious or in order to be considered spiritual, you must utilize these tools. You see what I'm saying? It's very dangerous. And what happens is that when we do that, not only, so first of all, again, because all things, all things begin with ourselves. So what happens first of all is that we lock ourselves into a lower frequency because we are only seeing from one aspect. We are only receiving and seeing from one particular aspect. We are only allowing others to see and experience from one particular aspect. And that is I guess in a sense, yours. You see what I'm saying? So by doing that, that's what happens. You lock yourself into a lower frequency, into a one-dimensional frequency. You see what I'm saying? Because you have allowed, first of all, you have allowed the tools to define you. You have allowed yourself to become attached to the tools, now understanding that they're just simply that. They're tools. It's just like any tool that you may have in your home. You know what I mean? You go and whenever you need to use a screwdriver, you go and use a screwdriver. When you're done with it, you put it down. Whenever you need to use a hammer, you go and use that hammer. And when you're done with using that hammer, you put it down. And then for example, you might have a Phillips head screwdriver, you might need a flat tip. So what do? You go and borrow or you go and buy a flat tip screwdriver. Because in that particular moment, that's the tool that you need to use. You might only have a small-headed hammer. You might need a mallet. So what do? You go and borrow or buy a mallet because that is the tool that you need to utilize for that particular moment. So again, it is the same things when it comes to the tools that we have utilized when it comes to so-called spirituality. The rituals, the meditating, the reading, the studying, the research. They're just tools. And again, the purpose of these tools are to free us. They are to free us. They are to free us and to lead us back to ourselves. You see what I'm saying? They're all. I guess another way you can look at them is that they're steps. They're simply steps that take you higher and higher and higher within yourself. You see what I'm saying? That is the purpose of these tools as well. They're to take you higher because they're simply steps. You see what I'm saying? One step does not, or better yet, you cannot negate one step for another. You cannot say this step is better than this step. That's why we have to stop judging people on their journey. You know what I'm saying? One particular person might be in this aspect of their journey, and I might be in this particular aspect of my journey. But it does not mean that I'm any better than that person. It does not mean that that person is lower than me, quote unquote, because again, we are all in different places within ourselves. This is why the Bible, even in the Bible, when they talk about, Jesus coming back in the twinkling of an eye and no man knows the return and all that shit, all the fuck they talking about is the ascension within yourself. Because that shit comes in the twinkling of an eye. Like I said, the twinkling of an eye. Another way of saying the twinkling of an eye is the Big Bang Theory. That's that boom within yourself. That is that orgasm. that occurs within yourself. The twinkling of an eye is nothing more than the orgasm or the Big Bang. And no man knows the return, because no man knows exactly when he or she ascends. No man or woman, should I say, knows when they will particularly ascend or elevate. It comes in the twinkling of an eye. So utilize your tools. Utilize the tools that we research, or that we use. The meditating, the rituals, the fasting. The studying of the Kabbalah and the occult and voodoo, etc., etc. Utilize the tools, but do not allow yourself to become attached to them, because again, what happens is that you lock yourself into a one-dimensional frequency, and then in turn you lock others in that one-dimensional frequency, not allowing them to freely be themselves, or freely experience and utilize whatever tool that they may deem is necessary for themselves. So again, release the attachments, because that's what the purpose of the tools are anyway. Releasing the attachments, elevating out the illusions, becoming truly in tune with who you are. Peace.